This was the hardest thing for me to create. It's so interesting to watch how this works. You create a space for them and they start working with each other, and she goes, I don't want to go find my own deals. I don't want to worry about the liability. I want to turn my phone off at a certain time. And I'm like, okay, now it's time to launch a dedicated community that focuses the training on that.
Because some women just don't want to be entrepreneurs. They just want to do enough so that they can feel somewhat useful in their relationship or as a person, and then
I call it, there's 5 stages to a woman. Sorry. This is in business. This is like, I want to take over the world, right? I'm on level 5. Then there's women that are like, I'm just kind of like, I'm sniffing the business. I want to just see if this is even a business I want to be in. So they're like 16 to 21-year-old girls. And they'll come work on our TC platform. I have a girl named Hannah. She worked at Red Robin. She's like, I don't like Red Robin. I'm like, I wouldn't either. I mean, I like Red Robin. I'll eat there. But she makes $4,000 a month. We got her, she's a full-time notary, so she travels around with me in Arizona. She's like, where are you today? I need you to sign 3 things. But she's also a TC, so she's on our payroll full-time. She may or may not ever be in this business. She might find something else that she likes. She might be an agent. She might be a gator herself, right? Then there's the supplemental, right? There's the women that are like, if I could just make, let's say $5,000 to $7,000 a month on the side, I could change my husband's life. Because my husband, what's most people's husbands doing? Working 6 days a week. They're barely keeping up with inflation. They're stressed out. And the wife is like, I know that my job is the most important. I'm the foundation of the home, and I'm here to support you and push you out there to go do more, but I also feel really bad. How could I bring money home that doesn't require my full-time attention? And so you get the supplemental, and then you get the full-timers, right? The full-timers that are like, how do I make $12,000 to $15,000 a month by running my own business, right? And then there, obviously you get that, but you get a ton of this. I'd probably say 40% of my entire demographic is that. In the women's, a lot of supplemental. I get probably 10% here. You know what they do? They don't even work for themselves. These girls will come into the TC training, you know what they do? They go and work underneath a team of full-timers. So interesting to watch how this works. You create a space for them and they start working with each other, and she goes, I don't want to go find my own deals. I don't want to worry about the liability. I want to turn my phone off at a certain time. Hanging out with my boyfriend and traveling is the most important thing for me. And then the full-timers are like, I want to go from full-timer to enterprise, right? I want to have a team, and then I want to have 2 people underneath me that are also badasses, and they have a team, and we end up having 15 people, and we're doing 80 transactions a month. And so these full-timers are looking for the girls that are sniffing around, that have taken the training. They don't have to train entirely. And I probably say that another 40% of my demographic is here, and then another 10 is between here and here. You get about 1%. I mean, this is the 1%ers of everything. Like, I want to take over the world.
It's important, the 2 and 3, that's great that they're 80%.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's great for a lending platform here.
Yeah.
You got the ecosystem and
this was my favorite.
This was the hardest thing for me to create. No offense to women, but women are really hard to corral. What it was, I was like, okay, a bunch of women, I have 8 sisters, so I watched this my whole life. You put these women in one place, and they're fighting like, oh my gosh, I'm like, so we had to get involved multiple times, and now I figured that out. That was great. And that was a fun situation. But this was the most important thing for me because so many people are out there going and getting deals. They don't want to learn the ins and outs. What's the difference between title and deed? What's the difference between title, insurance, and escrow officer? I don't know. People say title and escrow, and is that the same thing? No, it's not. And I got to explain this stuff. I'm like, dude, don't learn any of that crap. Just go get a deal. They're like, well, when do I need to learn it? Well, technically you don't. You should just hire a TC. And so that's what we do. I just tell my whole community, all these 8,000 people or whatever it is up here, all of these, I currently have, in Subto, I have 11,000. And in Gator, I currently have 7,000. And TC, I have 400, but this just literally launched 30 days ago.
And now those 400, did you get them from the community? Like the wives, the girlfriends, the sisters? Or
What I actually did, Sophia, is I trained them on Saturdays for free. So what I would do is I'd have Molly and Allison and Heidi and other people on my team that do my transactions. Every Saturday in Subto and every Saturday in Gator, I would train their wives for a year how to go out and help out with the paperwork. So now you start seeing women helping their husbands. People are like, we're having more sex than we've ever had before. We're making so much more money. And I'm like, okay, now it's time to launch a dedicated community that focuses the training on that. So now they have weekly training for how long? Their whole life. They pay one fee and they get in for whole life. Why? Because I'm trying to build a badass ecosystem where people can do a lot of deals. And we are leading the entire real estate industry. Everybody's like, how are you doing what you're doing? I'm like, because I'm actually helping people.
Yeah. So you don't even charge a yearly fee, you just
hell no. I don't want to charge a yearly fee. There are people that do that, and that's cool. That was never my intention. My intention was like, how do I make people so effing successful?
Yeah, because you make money when they make money.
Deals.
So if I'm a Subto and I want to get involved in Gator, I just buy a 2900 and I'm
You're in for life.
In for life.
Yep.